Alright, so today on the Wonderful Lovely Gaming Jesus Rocks channel, now, as you guys notice, that we did, the Candy Land. Now, the only difference I did add in here while we were gone was these trees, these little, sugar pine trees. I had to make it feel like that it's more lively in there. And there doesn't need to be, like, a big, huge, fancy forest going on. It's kind of what it is. And we also did get this modern rail built. Now, going through this, the modern rail is in black, blue, white, a little bit of black there. I like that because then it's kind of saying okay. And then we have a little bit of a pink, and then we go from, I believe, hold on. Yeah, no, that just looks like that. It's then we go into yellow, into a reddish, to more red, to a darker red, and then we go into like a turquoise green, somewhere greenish color, and then back to black. Now this is here temporarily. If you guys decide that you want the this to be changed to a oh, how can I put it this way? If you want it to be changed to Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, want to change not Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, but change the modern rail to the trams or the what's that other one that I said that you did last episode? That we would have the train, the railway. Okay. It's been a little while since I've played this, so bear with me on it. Now in this episode, as you guys can see, I had recorded a previous episode that required the use of glass, and that's the height of what the pool that we're going to be creating for today. And I'm not going to show you guys everything on this pool. I'm just going to show you the creation of the pool and a little bit of building this wall here. Now, I have preset roller rides from previous episode. This video may be scrapped if my other video does get uploaded, so don't bear with me on that. But it will be changed from that previous episode because I deleted everything and went through here. So, we want our pool size needs to be the size of this area. Now, we don't want it to be like, I'll bring it out even one further than what it's actually supposed to be. Now, as you can see, the way I'm building this is we don't want to go any further than that because we want to be able to save enough room for us to get over into that tram area. Now, we do want to go, and I want to go at least 2-way forward from in here. Okay. Now, before what I do plan on doing is actually let's go back into our ride section here. I want to close out the area these right here because that's going to leave us 2 spots in between, and then then we want to remove that one there, and then we're going to come down here, and we're going to actually place that one in place. If we're doing that, we need to fill that back in. Then we want to clear out this part right here to where that entrance is, and then we have an entrance that's too close to each other. Let's move it down a little bit further. Okay. So now here's what I have in mind. Now, since this is kind of more of, we could do a ship-themed or whale, but we're actually going to go more of the beach hut theme. I want to put our beach hut there. There. There, but we also need to make sure that they can, yep. Oh, okay, so we'll have to There we go, thank you. Okay, make sure that this is built in the same direction, that they can get in and out at the same spot. Now we do need to come back down here and replace that piece. Oops. And we need to replace that piece there, because we're going to move that one there, and we're going to replace that there. We want to make sure that it's too forward, but where we have these is where we're going to have our our shops for our peeps to handle. So let's get those in first before we finish building our pool. But I do want to, just before I forget about this, is our pool's going to be in a 4-way stop. It's not going to be in a 2-way stop. It's not going to be in a 2-sided pool. It's not going to be a 3-sided. It's going to be in a 4-sided pool. In a 4 pool sections, I should say. So let's go into find our shop locations, and let's go into our accessories. Now, I can't, for some odd reason, I will be able to find a way to get billboards in eventually. But what we do need to find is our swimsuit stall. Okay. Now we're gonna make sure that that we get our swimsuits for the male. Now all of these, if they don't have the dual-sided colors, we will add it in. Okay. We don't want, what we can do is let's do this and then clear out these ones here. We don't want that there. Okay. Now if we go to the premium side, we'll take out the non-single colored swimsuits. Okay. We're going to do the same with the female, unless if it's a purplish we'll leave one. They will get one style of bikinis. Same with this one, but they won't have the... It's hard for me to see the colors here. Okay. Give them the premium suits, get the beautiful colors. So we're going to set all of those, and then we clear out those. Don't get it, but I believe we'll get rid of a couple other colors just down there. We come down here. Now actually in these areas they will get all of the styles of the wonderful, lovely colors. The teens will get everything. The childs will not. Don't want to give them everything that they need. Here won't have that. Here we'll make sure that all the adults and everybody has the exact same styles of footprints, and we'll synchronize with both stalls, synchronize with all the stalls. They're not going to get increased or changed price, they're just going to be the same price as always. Then we need to go down here and get our... we can clear out some of these that aren't needed. We can add the sunscreen stall. Okay. Then we can add the inflatable stall. Because there's only one style, so let everybody have styles of the colors they want. Then we have that stall there, and we're going to add only over here on this side we'll have a drink and a we're going to clear that one out. We're going to have one single drink stall over here because they're getting off, and we'll go for a burger stall. We will go for a drinks stall. Now, we are going to give them, because this is a unlimited money, we want to synchronize everything with the stall. Now, I'm actually going to take off my mouse because it's a hard time for me to actually maneuver around with it. I can move a lot quicker with the trackpad. So let's, now we did add those. Now I also do want to go in and find our toiletries. Okay. Toiletries will be sitting on this side of the pool area. Over here in this area will only be our stalls that need the requirements for the pool. Synchronized with all, and make sure that everything is synchronized, because if we don't have everything synchronized, then we don't have everything that we need. So let's go with our sun cream. Make sure that everything stays synchronized. Now everything's going to stay the way that it needs to stay. We'll get into our pool here shortly. Don't you worry. Because we're getting all our things that we need required for the pool area, and I'm building it double the times because I don't want people to come from one way off over there coming to the pool area and not have the ability for it. So now let's add in our final stall that I want to add in, and that's going to be our toilet stall over here. Okay. Now our toilet stall will be nice because what we'll do, eventually there will be a mini shopping district in each of our pool areas. There's going to be. Now we can also come down over here, and I want to add a fries stall down in here somewhere. So if we go, and I want to add one fries stall, because I don't want to have a burger stall without a fries. So where's our fries? No. I know we have a fries stall in here somewhere. There we go. They get everything they want at synchronized prices. Synchronized for everywhere around the park. So that gives us a little bit of some people to go around and get our food and stalls and whatever they need over here. Having a little bit of variety of stuff down in here, having our swimsuits and stuff, and having our stuff down here kind of helps. So now what I'm going to do is I'm only going to fill in portions of this. I'm not going to fill up everything in that sense. If we go and click on our rides, and we go into here and we click on this, we are going to now need to split. Now I do want to make sure that each side of the pool must have at least a 2 width. Back here there won't be anything back here unless you are in the wave pool. And we're going to make the wave pool about this size because I don't want to have... The wave pool doesn't need to be large, and it's going to be going this way. Actually, if it's going that way, let's do it this way instead. Let's add a additional row, and then we will add one back down here. Now we don't want to have, and then we want to have one that's down near towards the end over here, where people are using this side of the pool for it. 3 rows is fine, and then we want 1 row going around the edge over here. Now I'm going to definitely add an additional row back here in this area, and I want to add a definite additional row back in here, but it's still got the same kind of distance. Now I'm also going to do the same over here. The reason why that's going to be a little bit smaller than everything else is because that's where our water rides are going to go in. Our water rides will go into that pool area here. Now I have some predetermined designs. The only one I don't have a predetermined design is the body slide at the moment. And I did these last episodes, so if you guys want to know our Aqua Blaster slide, if we were to build that, we can, I'm going to build it as close as we can get it to there. Whoops, don't want any music on it. Now we're going to leave that to test, and I'm going to let you guys, we'll watch this. I'll have a little video at the end of this where we will watch the water slides. There'll be like an extra, not at the end of the video, but there'll be like an extra at the end of the game, is we'll go through and we'll ride all the rides in one of our last episodes. But in my scrap tab, because I'm trying to keep this under at least 2 minutes, 2 hours less than 2 hours long, so I don't want to go like too expensive. Our next pool that I want to add in is our H2O slides. Now we have both H2O Bowl 1 and H2O Bowl 2. Now this one may not be able to fit correctly into our pooled area of where we have things that are supposed to go. So let's test you. I'll show you the rides after we get done all the way down here. If there's something that it doesn't seem to be too long of a video, or at least not too long, let's get our second H2O Bowl, our H2O Bowl 2. You guys can name these rides however you'd like. But I need to find a way to place this inside our nope, we can't go any higher than that either. Okay, where does that end? That seems to end right about there. That's alright, because what we can do is we'll go in and we will add a slight little extra length along the side of this pool over here, and we will, it seems to be alright if we do that, because we need to have the way to get in. Now, the last thing that I do want to add is we got both our H2O bowls. We got our Aqua Blaster slide. Now, this one you guys already know, this one, but I want to build in the torpedo, because I think having a but let's build a custom design today. Now, I'm going to show you a few other things that you can do. Is I'm going to build, this thing here is not going to be built, is going to be built in succession of being built here, but it's going to be built up as high as we can possibly, get it. We're going to have it go down 2 line, and then we're going to have it go straight forward. Now this is kind of going to be a torpedo, but it's going to be more of a helix torpedo, or whatever you like to call them. Now we do want to make sure that it is capped here, because as we start turning, making it capped going around a little bit. Okay, having it go around like that. Then we want to bring, now the reason why I had to go down 3 is because now we're going to go straight forward and we're going to try to bring it up by 2. Okay. We'll see it's going up by basically by that. Well, that's standard. And then we can bring it down, is the way I have it in mind. And then we're going to bring it down in a large helix going down like... No. We'll actually go in a large helix going down once. And then we'll have a small helix to go down in place of the 2 here. Okay, then we want to kind of straighten it out. And we'll go the other way. Small helix. Nope, 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 nope. We go the other way. That's what I meant. Then we go the small helix down twice. And then what we want to do is, then we will have our, not quite our end cap yet. Because we'll go like this. We'll go around the pool. Nope. And then, because what I don't want it to do is, and then we will have it drop off here. And straight cap. Now this is not the best of the best, but I did do it in a small area to keep it within the confinements of this area. Now I could have built it going out and winding out and around this area and stuff, but I don't want to be like too expensive. Now we're going to call this, for now, I'm going to save it as called helix, call it many helixes. No, we'll call it many twists. Call this many twists and turns. Now I didn't spell that correctly because twists, many twists and turns. Now we will watch this ride because I want to show you guys the ride, just to see if we like it or not. In that sense. Giving it a little bit of a push there to give it going. Okay, so that means we're going to have to stop this. That means we're going to have to cut out parts of this ride here. Okay, it's not meaning to cut it out or anything. It's just let's see if we can, because as you can see it's going down by a considerable amount by 2. And it's going up by 2. What we can do is, because over here at the end, we can say that it's still going to end here at the point, is we'll still end cap it there. But what we do need to do is we're going to go back up to where the style of the thing is we need to make sure that the ride does get enough so that we don't have the Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back a little bit further back. because we're going to do this, and then we're going to go down by 1 extra, and then we're going to start bringing it in to curve it like down, but we're going to bring it, instead of, we're going to have it capped and bring it down. So we'll bring it down 1, 2, 3, 3 rows, 3 row lined. So we'll go 1 more. And then we need to make sure that we can bring it up as far as we can, enough to be able to allow to bring it up 2 times. Because giving it that, like, the dip and then kind of slowly going down and dipping in and helping that go in is great. Now, we don't know if that's going to have some slight problems in the near future. And we do want to bring a large helix down by 1. Nope, not going up. And then a small helix going down twice. Going down like that. We're slightly changing up the design that we had before, but we still want to have it end in the same spot. So then what we do is, then I want to kind of, actually no. We're doing it, hold on, let's do this a little differently. Let's do this in a drop. Let's take this and put it forward where we have, okay, so I want to go back as far as we can, enough to get it to go back into that thing. Go down by 1 additional, just to give it that extra speed, so that we can do that. And then we rotate it the other way, going a large helix cap, and then we'll go with a 2 large helix caps going down. And then we're going, actually, let's do this a little differently. If we go down 2, we'll go down 3, and then we will rotate the going. Then we can rotate it going around like so, but instead we'll go up by 1. Actually, go back by 1, and then we want to rotate it down, and then start going down. Now, as you notice, that we're not over there at the point of impact to where we're supposed to go down. So we're going to do it that way, but I want to, actually, let's do it this way. So I want to make sure, we'll slightly do this a little differently. We will add that in that corner there, and we'll just slightly move it into a different area at that point, instead of, we slightly moved it, we slightly changed it, but I wanted to make sure that we could get it through the helixes, going down and then going back up. So we don't want to have any delays within the coaster, or the slide, in that sense. So this is going to be our last test, and then I'm not going to decide, we're not going to cover it up at the moment, but I'll kind of show you that in the next episode of some sort, because we want to get everything done within the realm of the pool. As you can see, it goes fast, and then it goes slow. The reason why I did have it go back up and dip down slightly is so that it does give it a little bit of push in the pool. So it doesn't go extensively going down too fast. It did go a little bit too fast there, so we might go up there and see if we can slightly dip it down a little more. Not dip it down, but make it less. And as you can see, I'm still wandering out there. For all of you who are still interested, I haven't seen anything on that, but we still have that peeps. Peeps, if you'd like to become a subscriber in the subscriber family, please do subscribe to my channel. If you want to become a viewer, go down to the comments in any one of the previous episodes. In the very first episode, or our review section, just for that purpose, you can add in and go in the way we want it to be settled. Now, as you can see that our pool slide is going to go going out right outside this area over here. Now I want to show you this slide over here. This slide, we'll add a second slide later on. I don't want to go, and we'll show you this one. This has already been done, but just for keepsake of time, I will not cover this up right now. We'll do a cover-up in a later episode of some sort. Just show you parts of the cover-up. Well, I'll show you the cover-up, what I do afterwards, so you guys don't have to see everything. But we'll start the cover-up today, so you don't have to extensively go and say, oh no, I failed, or that you guys didn't see anything, that you guys don't miss anything that gets changed, in that sense. In that sense. I also do want to say that within the realm of our themes, as we're kind of waiting, as we're kind of watching this slide and listening to me, at the end of the not at the end of the very video, but at the expense of this series, this series is for you guys to come up with a theme, kind of come up with a generic theme that we can use for our each portion. So that I don't have to kind of, okay, so I don't kind of have to go and think of a theme and go after it. You guys go down there in the comments of each video, because, you know, I'll be asking every video. If I don't have one already, I will not be going back to that video. I'll be going to the current video, current episode. So, like, if episode 1's out, and I was doing candy theme, I would look at that episode and said, okay, what themes are we going to do next? This episode is the polls theme, and we will get our submissions down below. Now, it is going back through the slide again, because we've already gone through it once. Now, let's go show you this one. This is our H2O slide bowl 1. Now, you guys have to name these slides. This one, too. Even though it says many twists and turns, because I'd like to save the design, so I want to do that quickly here. Save that. Many twists and turns have been saved. But, we'll show you each individual slide here in a minute, as we kind of go out of the video. But for right now, what you guys see here is this glass. Now, before we do get into the glass and building, we need to get in and we need to build ourselves some stuff so that people can go around and have fun. We do need to make sure that I will build 2 around every 2 width and 1 height length width, going that like that, basically, for each of the pool area. So we don't want to overdo it, because having a little bit of, because we don't know how much people are going to want to use the pool, in a sense. And over here we're going to need to clear those 2 out. Thank you. Now, we are going to put a couple of hot tubs over in that area, and we'll build one over there, and we'll have one over here as well. Give a little bit of time for, let's actually build our hot tub over here. Give everybody have the opportunity to get into a hot tub if they need to, and have it in different areas. Kind of helps. And we also do need our lifeguard. Now I'm going to put a lifeguard down over here, facing towards that way. And I'm going to put a lifeguard facing towards that way. And then we'll have a couple over facing towards in that direction. And one over here somewhereabouts. So that we can keep an eye watch on people. Same as with over here, but we don't want him facing the night way. The right way. And then we want to face these two down in that way. So we can kind of have at least enough so that people are being watched. I'm probably going overkill, and if that is true, whatever. More lifeguards, better the safer they are. So, even though we really don't need to have it in there. Now, we only did put 2 or 4 in there. I think we'll put an extra one, because they tend to like to be in wherever they so please. Since they don't go too far, I think what we could do is we can move these guys in a little further. And because it's not like they're not going any further than 2 more rows full. I think we'll go up to that point there. So that's kind of the way that we have our part. Now, in the sense of the park, we also wanted to get a upper floored set of. Now this is where our wave pool is, right? This is where our normal pool is. And I want to do this in a sense of, let's get our, we're going to go upwards. And we're going to go up as high as we can go. And we don't want to go up as high as we can go. And that's... We do want to go 1 tile off the outer edges, because we want to leave it 1 tile. 1 tile off. So that way, that when we do have built it, that we're going to go 1 tile off of it. Now this is going to be the executive club here. Because we don't want it like, it's kind of like the executive tool or executive whatever. So that kind of allows us to build our pool like so. Now we don't want to be too stickler on giving everybody the boot, but get everybody the chance to come up here. Now, I am going to add high def. Now, let's go. Hold on. Now, I do want to add in 1 more row of on this side as well. I don't want to be hiding everything from them. And we can also go 1 up in that area there. And then we can keep that. Now, what we do want to do is we want to be, let's go 1 over, but we want to keep it where we can have people to get up if they so choose. And that's those 2 spots there. With those spots there, we can now go in and add our, whatchamacallit, our staircase. In. Because having our staircases up and getting in there is a good idea. And they can act like that they're pillars. I'm going to do 1 over here somewhere abouts. They can act like as the 4 pillars. 4 pillars to keep things holded up. I also do want to do 1 somewhere right there. Okay, why won't it go there? Okay. That's just bizarre. Okay, so I guess we'll do it that way then, and then we will fill in our spots there, I guess. And you know what? Let's go this way. Let's extend it a little further. Go one more further. And we'll add the water one more further out in the way. Not too bad. We got our way to get up there. Kind of our notorious secret. Or not notorious secret, but way that people can get up there somehow. And our executive clubs will definitely get pulled near the edge of these stairs in every possible way we can. Now, we do need to go in and add our wave. So let's go down and see if we can get down in further, in enough that we can see where our wave's going to go. We want it to go this way. Actually, no, we're on the wrong side to have the wave. Dupe. I forgot we do it over here. Here, and our waves are going to last pretty solid. So, what I'm going to do here is once we get our pool fully set up, I'm not going to do everything here today. I just want to show you a few of these features that you can get in with the pool area. You will see some different changes. I will hope I make sure that I remember to do stuff like that. Now, if we go over into our settings here, and we can go with, and we can hit play because we haven't played it. And if we look at this, and we say our wave length, increase our wavelength to that, and increase our height a little bit. And we want to make sure that it lasts at least a minute long, minute 5, and say, a minute. So if we want a minute, that's going to be about 120. But we'll last it a little longer than a minute, and give it some 2-minute breaks, so that you don't have to be in here all the time, if you know that there's a wave in there. Now we're definitely going to keep these pool closed for right at the moment. Because we don't have the connections, and we don't have all the lifeguards in. So let's finish getting our lifeguards in, and our peeps to where they can sit, and our ways to get out of the pool. We don't want them to exert themselves in climbing up out of the pool. And we'll kind of put one up there, and we'll put one over there, and one over there. They're being extra cautious. It's a wave pool, because you can't really have everything be there. People do tend to like to use the pool Hold on, let's make sure that he's set in the correct spot, because we don't want him in the wrong area. And then we're also going to do the same here. We'll move him over to there. And I think that should be good enough for us to have our lifeguards around. Now, we do want to have our high dive. Now, I know that there is a high dive here, and we can allow people to jump off. That's going to be our only high dive for that pool-sided area, and a high dive over here that'll be 3 stories high, 2 stories high, and 1 stories high. And then we will have the notorious bottle there. And so it gets 3 stories, and then we have one that's up there. And to make sure that just in case that people do decide to get hurt, we'll add a small little entrance light thing right there. That's just so that we don't have to worry about people breaking their fall or anything. So that should help. We'll also add both of those there. We'll go up here, we'll add a couple up in here on this side. We're going to try to add one in that area, a couple coming off over here. We will do the night. We'll finish the rest of this in our second part of the episode because I don't want to overdo this. This is right now, we're just getting a few of these pool necessities in, and we'll be able to be ready. Pool will be ready for open eventually. Eventually soon. I do want to put one over here to where they can get out down that way. And we'll put one... They can get out over there, so I think that should be good enough. And then we'll put an extra one there. And then we'll put a couple over in these areas over there. And we'll add one... We'll add a couple on the sides over there. Making sure that everybody has a way to get out is a good idea. So, that is kind of where I'm going to leave it there for today. We will, in the next episode, we will be able to have this pool ready to be opened and for people to go through. But on that note, let's go in and let's show you my H2O Bowl 2. Now, I want to make sure that we are... let's just wait until we get one that comes up the pipe over here. Because it should just be, that's our H2O Bowl slide 1, right? That goes to 2, so this is our first one. Things up a little bit. Okay, so that's where it drops off, so we'll be able to watch it from here. Giving ourselves some time for us to end on the note of watching our Aqua Blaster side will be our last thing that we'll be watching for today. There won't be much in the way of video editing anymore in this. The reason why I'm not editing so much video is because I have so many problems of trying to get 2 hours worth of video. Would take like 10 hours to get it done, and I just need to get a better computer for that, which eventually I will, but not right now. So if you guys don't see any cuts or anything of any of my videos, that's why. And the reason I don't hear any music is just for copyright issue, in that sense. I could go get uncopyrighted songs and stuff, but it would be still copyrighted in some way, shape, or form, in that sense. But we don't want to go into expensive pools. So in our next video, after we get through the Aqua Blaster, we'll be working on getting the seats into the pool. We'll also be working on getting our, not just our seats, but our enclosure as well. That'll kind of be off-camera thing, but I'll show you some of it on camera. And then we'll kind of leave it there for today. So, after this slide's gone through in the Aqua Blaster, we'll kind of see you later.
Like, I need to make myself some supper.
So as we're kind of waiting, I'm kind of waiting for this pool slide to get. There's one. It just went through, so we gotta find it. There we go. So basically the Uncle Blaster is no chains, but it does have the ability to use the boosters to get up to the top of this hill at a quick and fastly manner, to give it that enough speed to get through the ride as intended. Everything in these rides are all high excitement, all three medium, but you know, I did turn off my camera for there for a moment so you guys can see the better of the slides and stuff in that sense. I don't want you guys to feel left out on that, not seeing the whole entire ride. So, I hope you guys did enjoy. Please do like, comment, if you so choose. Subscribe if you want to. I'm not going to force you to do so, but we'll see you guys later.